Wow, I gotta say, this is really refreshing, Bruce. Nice to have someone other than Lizzie for two straight episodes. How you doing,
Uh-huh,
Bruce?
uh-huh. Too. Listen, I know that I'm not sounding at my full capacity this week, but we're slightly sick. Um, but we're working through it. But hey, listen, let's just go ahead and give a big massive round of applause for Bruce Henless, who came
Absolutely.
and filled in for me last week while I was on vacation. Because it was one of those moments where it was like either we find somebody to fill in or we skip a week. And Alex and I are not like huge like fans of like skipping or not having. We try to stay pretty consistent. So Alex was pretty quick to be like, no, 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 like I want to find somebody. Came up with Bruce was the first person that he was like, yeah, this would be a good time.
Yeah, and I think it was just like a good opportunity for us to be like, okay, how does this work if one of us is
Is it
not
not? Uh
here?
huh.
Perhaps even for a few episodes in a row at some point.
Yeah.
Because Lizzie, you have another big life thing going on.
Life
You want
right now does not stop for me, guys. It's been crazy. And it also explains why like the past few episodes I've been like, I haven't really been gaming, I haven't really been doing this, I haven't really been doing that, because I haven't spent a lot of time on my PC in the past like 4ish months. um because I was just too tired and too worn, because my husband and I are expecting a little boy.
let's go.
Yeah, this is not a surprise to Alex, but
No,
it
I've
is
known for a
to
little bit.
it is a surprise to anybody who I guess doesn't really follow me on Instagram, on my Twitch Instagram or old
Hmm.
Twitch Instagram. Um, Close friends knew pretty early on, and then Instagram just found out like last week. But I'm 4 months in, and I do feel a lot better now, which is really really great, because I have felt really bad being like, I have nothing to give you right now, Alex. The podcast is just gonna have to be second nature right now, because I was just so tired through that first trimester, and I'm excited to have a little bit more energy now. But the only now downfall is we're also moving now.
Yeah.
So life
One
just
battle after
yeah,
another.
the life of loading Lizzie is a bit of a hot mess right now, but we're doing everything we can to like keep the podcast as consistent as possible, even if that means a friend hopping in every once in a while for me.
Well, and after you have a child, we might have a little Lizzie goes on vacation while you know.
Yeah, yeah. My hope is, so I have the luxury of finishing work rather early, way earlier than most people do.
Mhm.
So my hope is, and we'll talk about this later, but my hope is to do some extra recordings that we can like throw in, that at least
Yeah,
like you guys won't miss me for like 2 months. There'll be a few episodes where hopefully I'll be present, that will just be pre-recorded, but
yeah,
that's like a whole nother conversation. That Yeah, so there will be a time, mentally prep yourselves, guys, that I might be missing, which would be also kind of wild. But
that'll be wild.
yeah, super super exciting life changes. Just been a lot happening right now in my life, but all good
All good
things, all good
things.
things.
Yeah.
But that leads to, what have you been watching? What have you been playing? What have you been doing with your life, Alex?
Nothing quite as impressive as selling a house and growing a child inside me.
Yeah, yeah,
But I have been gaming a lot for myself, at
yeah.
least. I played through all of the original Hollow Knight
Oh
recently.
wow.
I did everything up until like Pantheon 5.
Okay.
So like for the people who've played Hollow Knight, they're like, wow, that's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Except get good and beat Pantheon 5. Basically, I 100% of the game up until the final kind of big challenge. That's like an hour long boss gauntlet that I just
Mm-hmm.
don't have time or patience for.
Right.
But it was a lot of fun. I was excited for Silk Song, but by the time I got to the end of Hollow Knight, I was like, okay, I need a break. I need a
Good break.
breather.
Yeah.
Um, but it's it was a really fun game.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I just realized that your title. And so me and Alex get to see each other, and I'm so sorry I don't post these as often as I say I like to. It's a whole nother hassle to post these sometimes. But so we both have our names in the bottom corner, and I never post like it has like a title, but you put
Yeah.
your name and there's the title, and I just now am realizing that underneath Alex's name it says personality hire.
That's what I am.
And just now realizing it really just made me chuckle.
Up until very recently, I just kind of showed up and I was like, hey.
I
And
know without saying it, I've kind of been like, Alex, here, take this. This is
Yeah.
now your baby for a second. I need a minute. I got my
Yeah.
own baby.
That's what teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Oh,
So I'm just
gosh.
reminding you that I'm the personality hire here. No, so but yeah, I always see the role and I'm like, well, what should I put as a role? And this is my role right now. I'm the personality hire. But yeah, so Hollow Knight, it was one of those games that like I had tried, like I'd started a couple times and it never really stuck.
Mhm.
But instead of like just being lost, I've realized I wanted to treat Hollow Knight like I treat like Dark Souls, where I'm
Mhm.
just following a guide and I'm going from boss to boss to boss.
Okay.
And when I found a guide that did that for me, I didn't have to worry about any of the Metroidvania stuff. I was like,
Mhm.
this is a hell of a lot more fun.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna wait until there's a guide like that for Silk Song, and at some point I'll play through Silk Song. And then after that, I feel like I've been a little bit of depressy. So I was
Ugh.
like, I need something that's gonna just like lift my spirits.
Mhm.
So I've been playing through Dragon Quest 3, like the HD 2D remake.
Okay.
And it is just so cozy. It's the first time I've played a game that I would describe as cozy that's not like a traditional like, like Animal Crossing
Yeah, I was gonna
or
say like a Stardew Valley of sorts.
yeah, because this
Yeah.
is like a very traditional like JRPG. It's a remake of a NES game, right?
Mhm.
So it's turn-based combat, but it's all like very bright and whimsical. And you can play on a difficulty where your characters literally can't die in combat.
Well, that's always nice. I can appreciate a game like that.
So I'm able to kind of just turn my brain off and just like enjoy the music and the art and walking around and
Mhm.
exploring. And like every town in this game um has its own kind of like shtick or like kind of meme about it, right? Like there's one where you show up and everyone's asleep and you have to figure out why everyone's asleep. There's one where everyone speaks in haikus, so every line of dialogue is a haiku,
Interesting. Okay.
and it's just like there's a lot of really bad puns,
Uh-huh.
and I haven't had to like emotionally invest in anything or
Yeah,
because I was like I just can't. I can't right now. And it has helped me. Like I treat it almost like before bed reading. So I'll play it for half an hour before going to bed every night. I've been
Right.
doing that for the
Yep.
past like month. And I think it's warming me up to getting back into Expedition 33.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I'm not sure if I'm going to restart Expedition 33 or just start from the because I'm literally at the beginning of Act 2.
That's my husband loves to like play and be like, "This is great," and like we'll play for like 2 nights in a row, and like we'll be like, well has finally like kind of admitted that he was wrong because he was very like, "I don't like turn based games. It's not my thing. I don't think I'm gonna enjoy it. It's turn based game." I was like, "You're talking to somebody who also was like." No, I don't think I'll like it just because it's turn based and ended up
Yeah.
having a lot of fun. I was like, so I think you need to give it like a real shot because I think you'll enjoy it more than you think. And so lately he's been like, oh yeah, I like it. But then like we'll look over and he's a lot like me of like he plays a lot of video games with friends. So
Friends,
if
yeah.
his friends start playing a different game, it's over. They're like all in this like I guess Skate is coming out and one of them
Okay.
got like some codes or something. They've all been playing that. Haven't seen this
Sure.
man play Expedition in a month. And I'm like, you're gonna have to just start over at this point.
Yeah. Well, I haven't played. So what happened to me was I started playing Expedition in like May, and by June my office was too hot to function.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I like in my evenings I'm like I need to be next to the AC. So I started like I was playing Donkey Kong and Mario Kart and stuff.
Right. Yep.
So now that it's like fall, I can come back and play Final Fantasy Sad Girl Fall Edition in a reasonable temperature.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And also I'm taking December off.
Like all of
So
December?
off of work. Yeah.
Really? Good for you. Nice, nice,
Yeah.
nice.
So I've got big plans.
I was gonna say, do you have big plans for December then?
Yeah, well, I have too many damn hobbies
Mm,
is one of my problems, right? Like I have board games,
mm-hmm.
and I have a friend and I have agreed to get into Warhammer together, and
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say because you paint.
I paint minis, yeah. And I like have running, obviously, been exercising a lot, and then like but I also want a game, and I'm also kind of interested in getting into game dev, so
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
I need to figure out what I'm going to do with that month because I want it to not just be me watching YouTube videos about politics and spiraling.
Yeah.
Is really what I'm trying
Uh-huh.
to get away from.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Um,
There's a fine line between being knowledgeable
yeah,
and just finding yourself in a very deep hole that is very much never ending right now.
yeah,
So I understand that.
yeah. So that's really like the gaming I've been doing, and then
Hmm.
as far as like watching, I've been watching Love Is Blind season 9, which is it's a good one.
I think I have spoiled too much of it already on TikTok
Okay,
because I think the last one really hurt my feelings so bad because it was so bad that I didn't really have an interest of going back this time around. That I have not watched it, but I'll see it like pop up on my TikTok and I will go straight to the search bar
sure.
and be like, okay, who are these two people? What happens? And like end up watching like 4 minutes in
It
clips.
if you want a good summary, there's actually a YouTube channel called Bachelor Fan Take,
Mm,
and he watches all of those kind of dating reality TV shows, and he does
hmm.
a good sort of like 20-minute YouTube video summarizing like the first 6 episodes of the season
Okay.
kind of deal.
Okay.
And yeah, he really gets to the core of what the viewing experience is like. Um, and I will say, yeah, the last season of Love Is Blind was bad.
It
This
was
one's
really bad.
better. But if you want a good season, Love Is Blind UK's most recent season, excellent.
I feel like a lot of people have said that the UK version is really, really good too.
Yeah, yeah, it's quite good. And then I also went to go see. We don't talk about movies much, but
Mm.
One Battle After Another, the new Leonardo DiCaprio
I
movie.
have only heard good things. I've heard that it is incredible. My husband wants to go see
Yeah,
it so bad.
it's incredible.
I
It is worth seeing on a big screen. It is cinematic. It is
for
cinema.
those of you who don't know, I am so against movie theaters. I hate movie theaters. I think they're disgusting. It's really hard for me to want to go see a movie in theaters. Like I just don't. It's not my favorite experience personally. And I think like some of it has to do with like I just feel really gross in movie theaters for some reason, but then like I've also had like a bad experience where I sat too far in the back and I don't have like a lot of sensory problems, but I have like a few sensory and it was so loud I couldn't focus the entire time
Right.
and it ruined it for me. So like it's
Mm.
just I would rather be at home, but everybody has said it's so good that we should just go see it that I'm like, okay, maybe it's a time that I just got put on my sweatpants. Don't touch the
I
seat and be okay.
as a an avid movie watcher, there's a lot of movies I see in the theater, and I never and I don't I think like I very rarely have the thought of like I'm glad I saw that in the theater.
Hmm.
I think that there are a couple shots in this movie that like if I was at home and I wasn't in a dark room looking at a big bright screen, that I would have missed some like really pretty shots that he did, like some
Yeah.
really subtle things. But if you also, it's a long movie, and if you're someone who's prone to bathroom breaks and don't like sticky chairs, it's also fine to wait because it'll be out around award season because it's gonna win a bunch of Oscars.
We have like a few other movies that we are waiting for them to like kind of come down in price because I mean it's about the same amount that I think we would pay to like go see a movie, but
Yeah.
Fantastic Four is now like at home, but even just to rent it is like $24, and
Oh wow.
we're both like,
Is it on Disney Plus yet?
no, I don't think it's on there yet.
Oh wow.
I could be wrong. But when we looked, because there's that one and Superman, but both of them right now are like stupid. Like in my, I hate to use the word expensive, but super expensive to rent. And I'm like, So we're waiting a little bit for those to go down. Like, I really want to see Materialist, but again,
Hmm.
when it first came to the house, it was like $24, and my husband was like, "No, like you're not renting a
No,
$24 movie. If you could just wait a month when it's like $12 or like 10." He's like, "Have at it." So I actually have a friend who's coming this coming weekend to stay with me while my husband's out of town. I need a babysitter now, apparently, all the time, which isn't bad. I'm super excited that she's coming, but
sure.
I'm like, okay, it's finally like $8, I think. I'll make her sit down and watch it with me, anyways. So
Oh,
yes,
I think that's gonna be a great movie. I haven't
yeah,
seen it yet.
I haven't either, but it's funny because like Dakota Johnson, I think I got a little stuck in like the she's just 50 Shades of Grey girl for so long,
Yeah.
and I didn't know much about her, but I love Pedro Pascal.
Yep.
And my YouTube suggestions was literally all like the marketing that they did for this was like it just was all over my YouTube. So I just sat down and I started watching some of it. And the more and more I watched her, she's funny. She's got a really
Yeah.
interesting personality, like a good personality about her. And I was like, oh no, I could be like a big fan of hers.
Yeah, it's the tricky thing. Like I even feel that's how I feel about Robert Pattinson because
Mm-hmm,
he, you know, in his young acting days was in a bunch of really poorly written, shitty scripts of
mm-hmm,
films, but big films, right? Like Twilight and like one of the Harry Potter movies. But he like when I saw him because he's done a lot of like more art housey
uh-huh,
stuff in his
mm-hmm,
adult life because he's like, well, I have fu Twilight money, so like
mm-hmm.
um, I'm just gonna do cool movies. And I've seen him in some stuff now. I'm like, oh, this guy's got range. Like yeah,
We should come back to that thought actually later on. It would be a fun topic to talk about of like actors and actresses who got stuck in a role that like never made it out, actresses and actors that got
oh,
stuck in a role and did, you know? And that would
oh,
be an
girl,
interesting one because there's a lot of them out there that like never were able to ever break through of their like one hit wonder of sorts, you know?
yeah, or just kind of get pigeonholed
Hmm.
into and like have worked really hard to kind of break out of that. Like I think Daniel Radcliffe has really struggled with that in his career.
Oh, I mean,
Um,
those kids, yeah, that's
yeah.
that's the one's a trigger. So yeah, so that'd be fun, something fun to come back to. Um,
Oh, I would have thoughts. I would take some detailed notes. I'd be ready to go. Um,
As far as like I said, I haven't gamed a ton, and we've just been very, very busy. So we also have not been sitting down and watching a lot of movies. But I will say, I think I mentioned it early on that I was binge watching Emily in Paris.
yeah.
And like literally because like it was kind of very similar. Like I needed something that I didn't need to super focus on.
Yep.
Um, and that was the show for me where it wasn't like super, super like intense. So binge watched all of that. Was a little sad when it ended because to be honest, the show's not incredible. Like it's not amazing. I'm not going to go out of my way to like try to like convince me to watch it, but I'm like if you just need something to sit and watch and like you could
Yeah.
color or do your nails or like whatever, I think it's a great show. I'm
Yeah.
excited for like the new season, don't get me wrong, but it was good. I don't think
Was
she's
it
an
originally
amazing
a book?
actress. uh
Was
I don't know.
okay. All right.
But so binge watch that more.
But like I feel like you don't watch it for her amazing acting. You're like, okay, I want the love triangles. I want the strength, the
Mhm.
European men hitting on her,
Yep.
and the quirky coworkers.
Yep. Finished, of course, everybody and their mom finished The Summer I Turned Pretty, which again, that show was I I have a lot of thoughts about that show because
Tell me them.
all
What are
I
your
do
thoughts?
when I text my friend about this because we both were watching it like pretty much 2 days later than the show actually was coming out. So like we are all in the same like time frame. And I would just text her and like bitch about the show basically. And I was like, this is ridiculous. I don't love a show that does the same thing over and over and over and over. Like I understand the first two times, but it gets a bit repetitive where it's like, this is my boyfriend, or this is my boyfriend, this is my boyfriend. It's the same two guys. And you're like, bitch, you have to figure it out. They are no longer the problem. You are.
She ruined a family.
Yes.
It's straight girl Saltburn is what that
I
show seems to be.
I liked the ending. I was personally happy with the ending. It was kind of what I wanted it to be. But whatever.
What like oh was it though?
it's
Is there any winning at that point?
well, I mean, because I think even to the end, even to like the people who agree with me were like, this was like, it was a really good show, but it also was fucking drugged through the mud. Like, this was a bit ridiculous. Had a side. You were either Team Conrad or Team Jeremiah.
Or you see, there's also the
Team
third
Nelly.
team.
Yeah, which is she's herself.
There's team go to Paris and leave those poor fucking boys alone.
Yeah, I know. So I it ended what I kind of hoped was going to happen,
Sure.
which was fine. So yeah, finish that. I can't believe they're doing like a movie now. I think it's ridiculous. Like, just be done with it.
Well, it's also like interesting because we talked about Twilight earlier, and I was watching rewatching a video about kind of romance novels and stuff, and it's interesting how like there's almost a culture around these types of books, like, and there's always the sort of flavor of the week of like
Oh yeah.
people who have to consume the romance novels and then have to like hate on it.
Oh,
You know,
100%. Yeah.
right? Like that's part of the experience. Like you, and then sometimes in retrospect they look back and are like, okay, maybe it wasn't that bad, but at the time you're like, like why can't we just enjoy this thing? You know?
My friends all consider me a cult leader because I was the biggest advocate for A Court of Thorns and Roses after I read it. I kid you not, I think I convinced at least 7 to 10 people to read that book. And I was so enthusiastic about it that people were like, I felt like I didn't have a choice. I'm like, you didn't, and you enjoyed it, didn't you? Like, I had a friend who was very much what you were explaining. Like, they're like, no, I don't want to read it. I don't want to read it. Like, ugh, like, no, everybody read it. And then she read it and end up like loving it. And I was like, see, I told you, like, it's really good. Another movie that we did watch just the other day is I love Brett Goldstein,
Okay.
who is from Ted Lasso. He's also the one who made Shrinking. He produced, I think he produced it and he also starred in it. It's called All of You. It's on Apple TV.
Okay, yeah. Doesn't miss.
It doesn't miss. This one was a bit interesting. I did enjoy it. I think it's worth the watch.
Sure.
I think.
What's the premise? What's the?
It was really weird because I just wanted to watch it because I love him, and I was very interested in like this. Like, you could tell it was a love story. And then I started watching it and I was very surprised. And I'm not going to give anything away, but I was very surprised that there is a sci-fi aspect to this. So basically, you go and you can take a test and it tells you who your soulmate is.
That's like that episode of How I Met Your Mother.
I've never seen How I Met Your Mother.
Why are you watching Emily in Paris? How I Met Your Mother is a great 8 seasons of TV minus, so you don't watch the last season. And then you also just ignore some of the very outdated and problematic jokes from the early 2000s.
Yep.
But anyway, continue.
But it's basically about like, because you know from the previews, like they're best friends and she decides to get the test and he's very against getting it done and how that kind of unfolds. Really, really good. Really, really good.
Do they fall
I keep
in love?
on going. No, I'm not going to tell you anything. I keep on going to say something, and I'm like, if I say that, that's low key a spoiler. Let me shut my mouth. And
I probably will watch it.
I think it's good. I like it. What was the one that?
How heavy of a movie is it?
Not super heavy.
Okay.
I don't.
Because sometimes Brett Goldstein, will really punch you in the gut, and I'm like, I don't know.
I mean, it makes you feel, but I don't know if it's gonna. It's not like there's some movies and shows that I've seen that it's like it might trigger some real serious deep things, but it's really not that bad.
Okay.
But it was good, and I really like him, and it's very, again, talking about people who have had like I see him as Roy Kent, who is all fuck you, in Ted Lasso, and then he's a bit softer in this movie, which is very, very fun to watch. But as far as gaming goes, the only thing that I've been doing recently that I've really enjoyed is I love Party Animals, but Party Animals just recently introduced a new mode.
I saw you fishing.
And that's one of their big things right now is it's called Summer Cabin. And
The summer
You
I turned party.
and you
Sorry.
physically are just fishing, and like you get fish and you sell them and you upgrade your gear, and like all of it is just to like the more you do it, the more you get like extra skins for the game. But I've just enjoyed like the very like doing nothing part of this game right now. Like I sit there and I'll fish for like 40 minutes. We'll go play like a few like actual games, but it's been nice to like again, no real head empty like thoughts going on. Could
Sure.
just like casually fish.
Have you lived the life of a showgirl yet?
No, I'm really not like a Taylor. I'm not a Swiftie to be real, and I've listened to part of the one with because I am, however, um, a lover of Sabrina Carpenter.
Oh no, you listened to the worst song on the
And
album.
I didn't even really listen to it. I listened to like some of it, just listening to hear Sabrina Carpenter, to be honest.
Oh,
So no, I haven't really listened to it. I've heard pieces of it, obviously on TikTok, but that's it.
yeah.
I have not sat down and actually listened to it to
Okay.
myself. I don't think I've listened to an album by her since Red.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have a coworker that like sits in the cubicle next to me, and she required like when I showed up to work on October 3rd at 8:30 in the morning, I had to have a top 5 track list, which meant I had to get up early enough to listen to this album,
Isn't
which
there
was a
only like
lot
8
easier.
tracks?
It's 12, so it was
Oh,
like it was like
oh.
45 minutes. It was fine, but it was a lot easier than the day Tortured Poets
Mm,
department came out because I
mm-hmm.
had to get up early for that. But yeah, I like it a lot more than some of her more recent albums. I've seen a lot of hate online.
I was gonna say this is
Um,
good. This is very controversial Taylor
this
Swift.
is this
Like a lot of even like diehard Swifties are like, like the one thing I keep seeing is like you can obviously tell that she didn't have a boyfriend previously and she had a lot of time on her hands, and now everybody is like, and now you can tell that she was just being getting dicked down, and that's everybody's
look.
like.
There's a song about exactly that.
I was gonna say, and I'm pretty sure that she kind of like low key talks about it.
There's
So
if there's any song from the album you should listen to for
isn't it
that, it's
called
just
Wood or
it's
something?
called Wood. It's like, yeah, it was like there's a lyric that's like, your red wood was the key that opened up my thighs. Like that
Whoa!
is like, like that's an actual lyric from the song. There's no
I
there's
think this
no
episode should have been us going through Taylor Swift new lyrics because that would have freaking been hilarious. Oh my god.
um yeah, but
No,
you know what?
I'm still living my Sabrina Carpenter life. Her new album still like fuels my soul. So,
I bounce between Chapel Roan and Lawrence.
mm,
Those are
but did
my
you
my
listen
two.
to? You have listened to the new Sabrina Carpenter because we briefly talked about it, and you were saying that you liked it. I think I sent you a message, and you were like, "Oh yeah, I'm enjoying it."
Yeah.
I don't think it's as
New
good as the last one though.
No, but you know what? There were some tracks on that, like on Man's Best Friend, that I liked. I like Tears a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I also like My Man on Willpower.
I like When
Um,
Did You Get Hot? That one, it has
yeah,
such a good like beat to it. I just sit there and I jam to that song.
yeah. I feel like after I finished that album, because I listened to it like for a week. I
Mm-hmm.
haven't really gone back to listening to Sabrina
Mm.
Carpenter, so I feel ill-equipped to remember which songs. But she does make my when I walk to work is often when I listen to music, and I'll sometimes turn on Sabrina Carpenter, and I feel like Tears and um I seem to remember Go Go Juice enjoying that
Oh,
as
I
well.
mean that was also very much a bop in my opinion. Like you can't go wrong with that one.
Yeah, just feel like her last album just was so strong.
It was so good. But that's what a lot of people said. It's like it's really hard to like have your breakout album, which I think that might have been what that was for her.
Yeah,
The one to follow that is always really hard to top, especially because that most of them feel rushed because you're these artists are like, "Oh, here's my high, here's my go. I have all the attention," and they kind of rush it.
yeah.
And typically it turns out just not being as good as the prior.
Well, I find like emails I can't send.
It was good too.
It was good, and I feel like she went viral during that tour because of her like nonsense outros.
Mm-hmm.
And then I feel like, but I feel like as an album, like Short and Sweet was so good, and I think the Man's Best Friend kind of sits in between emails I can't send and
Mm-hmm.
Short and Sweet for me. But yeah.
Hey, we've been talking for 30 minutes.
I don't know if we're getting to this week's topic, Lizzy. We haven't
It's
like
just purely gonna be catching up. You know what, Loki? I thought about it. I was like, we have okay, because technically, if we're thinking about this, we had an episode not last week, the week before it would have aired. So me and you haven't sat down and talked in 6 weeks.
yeah.
So yeah, there's
We
a
have a
lot to
lot.
catch up on here.
I'm having a great time.
I know, it's been great.
I can do another 15 minutes of this and call it a
Sure,
great day.
yeah, let's just call it a day, and we'll save what we were going to talk for next time, and which is great because there's a lot of times where I just am a minor. I think so. I hate doing like the whole like diagnosing yourself thing. I'm minorly against it. You know, I understand the conversation of like you're arguing with like a doctor. I haven't seen a doctor. My mother and both of my sisters have ADHD, and I'm pretty sure I do too. And so I thrive under pressure. I'm not a great planner sometimes. So I will like low key kind of plan ideas in my head through the week. And then like Friday, I'll be like, so topic for Sunday. And I'm pretty sure Alex is like screaming at his computer at that point, being like, Lizzy, please let me plan. Like, what are we doing?
I think Friday's generous. It's usually Sunday morning. And we record Sunday afternoon.
This is how I did school too, though. Like, and I feel really bad, and I do try to get better because I'm like, this is not just about me. Like, I have to take in account like there's a whole nother person who is helping me do this, and that I'm working with here. But I was the same way at school. Like, if I had a project done, I had to do it the last minute. Like, I needed to feel that pressure to thrive, and I think it's an ADHD thing.
Perhaps. I mean, there are certainly aspects of things where I'm like, for me, I need a plan and I need it to stay. When plans change last minute, you
got to see me cry.
I scream internally.
Yeah,
you know, and it doesn't need to be a last minute change. It just needs to be a plan that shifts. For instance, last night, so my wife turns tomorrow, right? And I know how much it is. I don't know if she wants me to talk about how old she is. Older than me. And
how much does she have on you?
A year and 3 days.
Really? I got 6 months on my husband, and he really loves to throw to my face because I'm 30 and he's not going to be 30 until December. And he's like, anytime I'm like, well, we're 30. He's like, well, you're 30. I'm like, okay, yeah, you have like another 2 months. Holy shit.
I turned 30 on Thursday this week.
Oh my God. I'm so bad with dates, and birthdays are not my strong suit. I am so glad that's going in my calendar right now.
So when, you know, so when my wife turned 30, I was like, Jess, I'm only 28.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, where was I going with this? Oh yeah. Okay.
You're asking the wrong person.
So last night, we went on like a bike and brew. So like my city has a lot of really great walking trails and a lot of really great breweries. Mm-hmm. So a really popular thing is to like bike from brewery to brewery and like have a beer at each stop.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a really fun thing to do in the summer. I don't do it a lot because I don't drink a lot, but
same.
She shares a birthday with another friend, and that friend wanted to do a bike and brew. Like, great. So we're there, and Jess and I have been talking about maybe potentially the first 2 weeks of next August to be like, we're going to Europe to do the Tour de Mont Blanc, like the hike around Mont Blanc in France. So you go like from France to Switzerland to Italy back to France, and you start in Chamonix, and it's gorgeous hike through the Alps.
How long does that take you?
You can like quickly do it in a little under a week, but we'll probably do 11 days because that's kind of like the recommended amount. And basically you just stop at like little chalets along like in all these little cute little towns in the Alps.
That's cool.
It seems like a super fun thing to do.
Yeah.
but we haven't booked anything. We just said that would be a cool thing to do next August.
Mm-hmm.
But then last night, someone was talking about Oktoberfest, and then all of a sudden the plan shifted. Instead of doing, Chamonix in August, it's now Oktoberfest in September, and that sent me. That's how bad it is. Like when I make a plan in my head, it like I should write it in pencil, but I write it in ink,
Uh-huh.
and
Mine's
and I
also like in Sharpie up there.
yeah. And like the sound from Kill Bill, like the siren sound goes off in my head if it changes. And
It's the scene from SpongeBob when his brain's on fire and he's running around.
yes, it's so bad. And
Yeah,
I'm
no,
like, I know this is insane. I know I sound super unreasonable about being a little anxious about this plan changing, but that's where I'm at. And there's definitely something to examine there that I talk about in therapy quite a bit. Anyway, I with the planning of the podcast, I've just like come to accept that that's why I'm the personality hire. Because if I'm the personality hire, I can just show up and be like, "Wah," But with this episode, we were going to do something else, and that I had planned. But we'll just save it. We can, it'll be a good thing to use in December when we want to have like a few, like record a few extras ahead of, it would be a good one to have in the bag because I feel like there's some pretty detailed notes.
Speaking of my baby and all of this, it was really, really funny. I really, really thought I was having a girl. Like, really thought I was having a girl. I was so convinced. Plans changed.
Sure.
Again, was a little too written in ink that it was going to be a girl, and then I found it was a boy, and I was like, oh shit. Which that's like a whole nother conversation that people get really into of like gender disappointment or whatever. I am thrilled. I'm so excited to have a boy. And actually, let me praise Alex for 2 seconds, because something he said to me early on while I was kind of like having these moments of like being a little like sad that this girl life that I thought I was getting, like kind of being like, okay, that's not what's happening. Alex said something to me that really stuck with me from early on all the way up until now that made me so proud to have a boy. And he said, well, I'm going to try not to cry because I'm such a sappy bitch. Okay. I cry about everything. He said early on, he's like, you know what, Lizzy, it's good that you're having a boy because we need more parents like you and Daniel to raise good guys.
Yeah.
And it stuck with me so hard. And so now that's all I think about it a lot of like, okay, well, I am going to raise a boy who's good for the world. That will be like
great.
Solid for it. But
I'm getting emotional. I didn't know I was so thoughtful.
It was very, very thoughtful, and it really did stick with me. And I think I posted it on my Instagram on the story. I think it was part of my close friend stories. And I had said, I was like, I'm so excited to raise a boy for this world, like a good guy for the world. And so, so it really did. It really stuck with me. And so thank you for that, because it helped me get through this like weird motion of my life of like, I really wanted a girl and not disappointed to have a boy, but like had built up a little bit too much. I think I called this baby she, which was a mistake for a long time. But super excited. And now we're getting ready to move because we're going to get a slightly bigger house with another bedroom. So like we have this ability. Neither me or my husband want to give up our gaming room. And then we have a
room for a third desk as well for the Roblox,
a mini desk. And then we have a guest room. But then I was like, I don't want to get rid of our guest room either, because when we do have this baby, like people are going to want to come and stay and help, and like we still want that ability to house other people if they come. It's like, but then like I want a nursery and I want to decorate and stuff. So we're, that was not the only reason that we decided we were going to sell our house and get something different, but it was one of the big ones. It was like, we just need slightly more space. And so I was really anxious about picking out like a theme. And then I was like, okay, as like somebody who lives and breathes their entire life with Zelda, I really think I want a Zelda-ish themed room.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I saw your Pinterest board.
Yes. And so I want it to be like not overwhelmingly like you walk in and like wallpaper is Zelda. Like we're going to do like I made this Pinterest board basically of like this kind of like green and like these really cute little things that we can put in there. And I presented it to my husband being like, please, please, please please accept this. Like, please say yes. And he looked at me, he was like, oh, yeah. And I was like, yes. So I was like, let's go. Okay, we need to get out of the house so I can start planning. But so, yeah, I was super excited to have like a little, we're going to have a little Zelda room, which will be fun.
And as someone who's a fan of, somewhat tasteful Zelda merchandise.
That's a sick shirt, too.
Yeah, I'm wearing a shirt that is like a Link's Awakening, but it's not like the logo. It's just like Zelda, Link and Marin on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I feel like there are things you can do, like little Koroks or like the fun leaf or whatever.
There's a really cool map of Hyrule from Ocarina of Time that you print it and put it like in a kind of like what we did behind me. There are blueprints of like a bunch of different Star Wars, like the Falcon, and like there's a few other like the X-Wing is up there, but it's like blueprints of them, and I found them on Etsy, printed them, and then put them in their own frame.
I hope you know that I require footage of your child picking his first starter Pokemon plushie.
Oh,
like
yeah.
You put the 3 in front, and then.
Oh yeah, that will be that. I also will. That will be one that we will do pretty early on, which will be fun.
Once he's moving around, because I met a young. I don't know if I've talked about this on the podcast or not. I met I'm in the phase of life. I don't know what happened. We just skipped over the wedding era. Like Jess and I never really had a summer full of weddings, but now we have a summer where like so many of my friends are getting pregnant or having kids.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my friends, we like dropped off a little care package at her house, and we're just like, it was like 10 days after she gave birth.
Mm-hmm.
So we put it on the front door, and then we got in the car, and I just sent her a text on my way down the driveway. And by the time I'm at the foot of the driveway, she's like, why didn't you come in? Why don't you ring the doorbell? And I was like, girl, you just had a
days,
kid.
It's like, it can be really hit or miss. Some people are like, thanks. And some people might be like, please, I'm so people deprived. Please come in and say hi.
Yeah. So we kind of just came in and we didn't like sit down or anything. We just kind of said hello, what have you. But I also met the child. And
the
that's
child,
son.
like
their
it's
son.
Grogu.
Yeah, but I never like, because I've never seen a baby that young before.
Really?
Because I'm the youngest child, So I was like,
I guess I have a lot of nieces and nephews that I was around when they were born, though.
Yeah, so it was a weird experience for me. I was like, oh, like I don't know what to do, and they tried to like hand the baby for me to hold, and I'm like, I am next to your steps. I'm not holding your baby. If I was sitting down and I could kind of just like freeze and be like, am I doing it right?
This is good.
I would have done it then. But yeah, it's been interesting. It's been an interesting kind of chapter of life of like some people around me that I care about are having kids, and I'm excited for that journey for them.
Yeah. It is definitely a crazy, wild time, but all super exciting things, though, But I think with that, as we're running into 45 minutes of absolutely just catching up, which I think this is incredible, and I'm not mad about it at all. This is great. It was just funny because I really did. I looked up, and at like 16 minutes, I was like, okay, we're kind of nearing into a dangerous territory of like needing to hurry up, or this episode's going to be an hour long. And then I looked up again at 30, and I was like, ah, shit.
by the time I hit 13 minutes of just explaining what I had been playing, I was like, oh, we're not getting to this week's topic, which is fine.
Yeah. Fine. But I hope you guys enjoyed our little chit chats and catch ups, and hopefully you guys got to kind of chuckle along with us. And we will be back with Alex's real episode and topic in 2 weeks. But I appreciate you guys, and thank you again for all the the leniency of me being kind of in and out. I hope you guys enjoyed that last episode with Bruce, and they just finished up. Like, I think they still can raise money, but a lot of them are like kind of putting like incentives and everything on a back burner now.
Well, and they raised a lot of money. And
yeah, they have a little over, I think, $17,000.
and like Bruce gave a speech,
Yeah.
and they had like a table. Like like super pumped. Like I saw footage from the weekend, and
Yeah.
can't I couldn't be more thrilled that they did as well as they did.
Yeah, it's really, really cool to watch, especially like as somebody who has the opportunity to be in a lot of these calls to brainstorm some of this stuff,
Yeah.
of where I think I was part of the first initial conversation years ago of like, oh, and him being like, I really want to do like charity and I would love to like raise money. And I've done the
Hmm.
Chicago walk before, and to see it now, 3 years later, 4 years later,
Yeah.
be, closing in, like getting close to like 20K, like having people go out there and do the walk with him it's really, really cool. And I think it's super, 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 the whole idea of it is super important, of like mental health. And um just the climate of the world right now is kind of weird, and it's super important to talk about of that. Also, but also like mental health is not just a women's thing.
No.
This includes men, and everybody is included in
And
this.
everybody
And
in between.
yep, and everybody in between is very included in this, and it's important to really just raise awareness and be aware of, what other people could be potentially going through, and how we can support each other. So yeah, just huge, massive shout out to them for what they're doing, because that's absolutely incredible. Not just the money side, but raising that awareness to other people in the community is really cool. So super
Yeah.
proud of them. So thanks again, Bruce, for coming in, coming and talking about it and stepping in for me. And thanks everybody for listening. Apple Music,
Spotify.
Spotify,
Wherever you
YouTube,
get your
wherever
podcasts.
you get your podcasts. One day I want to be able to say that with like full confidence, that like somebody can find it like really anywhere.
Yeah.
For the most part, it is. Luckily, the place that we put it kind of does a good job of like, it's scattered a few other like random spots too. But yeah, wherever you get your podcast. And we will see you guys next time. And thanks for listening. Bye, guys.